OnePlus's smartwatch dreams have been brewing for years. In 2016, former CEO Carl Pei tweeted sketches from 2015 of a wearable that the company had been working on, but that device never came to be. 5+ years later, the world is looking a lot different. Devices from Apple, Samsung, and Fitbit have matured and found their identities, while Wear OS appears to be in chrysalis. This is the industry OnePlus is entering today, and it clearly needs a way to stand out. One thing that the company has been known for on its phones is its rapid charging tech, and it's cleverly brought that to the OnePlus Watch. Modern smartwatches take freaking ages to charge, and OnePlus's promise of delivering a week's worth of juice in just 20 minutes is compelling. And its $159 price tag is another pro. But with a brand new OS and basically nothing else unique, the OnePlus Watch struggles to hold its own against the competition. First, the design. OnePlus already starts off on the wrong foot here for me. Not purely because the watch is too big for my wrist. I take more of an issue with the fact that there's only one size available. Now, I understand OnePlus might not have the production capability to offer different versions, but this simply isn't a very inclusive approach. At 46mm, the OnePlus Watch's case basically covers my entire wrist, which I know is a very specific problem that not everyone will mind. Even though it's big, the case is thankfully not too thick. It's about the same height as the Galaxy Watch Active 2 and the Apple Watch SE. My review unit also came with a strap that, at its tightest, was again too loose for me. This meant that I had to keep pushing the watch up my forearm while I was working out or risk getting inaccurate heart rate readings. Those complaints aside, the OnePlus Watch is a clean-looking device. I'm not super impressed with its basic design, but people who have seen it on my wrist often comment on how nice they think it looks. That might have something to do with the OnePlus Watch's 1.39-inch AMOLED screen, which is eye-catchingly roomy and easy to read. I have no issue with the display itself, but I am bummed that there doesn't appear to be an always-on mode. That, combined with the fact that the maximum screen timeout option is just 8 seconds, means that I was often left looking at a black circle. But before we get too far ahead, it's important to point out that the OnePlus Watch currently only supports Android devices. You'll need to install the OnePlus Health app from the Play Store to manage your watch and sync data. This app looks nice aesthetically, but it feels unrefined. There are 3 buttons at the bottom of the page for health, fitness, and the manage sections, and most of your watch's settings can be found in that last panel. But some of them are also hidden away under this little icon at the top right of the app screen, and some settings like the preferred units of measurement, you'll have to go there to fix and change. If you want to look at your logged workouts, you can see them under Health. But the organization is kind of weird. This page shows your progress on things like sleep, heart rate, blood oxygen, and stress for the day, with a card for workout logs at the end. This brings you to all the workouts ever recorded on the app, with the total number of minutes, sessions, and calories burned at the top. Below it is a reverse chronological list of all your sessions so far, and you can tap each one for more details. If you want to see your active time or workout progress for the week, you'll have to go back to the health page and tap the daily report card at the top. But from there, you can't tap in to see your individual workouts. It's just really clunky navigation all around. Also, the fitness section just shows you your logged runs and walks. Nothing else. Most of the screen here is devoted to a placeholder for a map, complete with a Google logo at the bottom and a dot that seems to indicate where you are. But in my days of testing so far, never has an actual map ever shown up here. Only after I tapped into each individual logged walk or run did I eventually see my route. I like that OnePlus tried to differentiate itself from all the ring-based progress tracking graphics that Apple and Google use, but his approach is kind of confusing. It's just not as easy to understand at a glance. All this is before we even get to tracking your workouts, which is one of the biggest reasons people get a smartwatch. For the most part, the OnePlus Watch is fairly adept at logging my exercise. I used it for stationary bike rides, treadmill runs, outdoor walks, and weights training sessions, and across the board, it registered heart rate and calorie burn that was in line with the machines themselves and the Apple Watch SE. Occasionally, the watch showed significantly lower heart rates than these other devices, but it picked back up fairly quickly. A potentially more troubling issue, however, is that the watch seems to undercount distance or steps taken. On one of my treadmill runs, it lagged the treadmill itself by 1/3 of a mile, which messed up my pace timing. I am more annoyed by how sensitive the OnePlus Watch is at pausing my workouts, stopping whenever my pace slowed for a teeny tiny bit. Thankfully though, it also did resume quickly enough when it realized that I had sped back up. Though OnePlus says 110 plus workouts will be supported, the fine print on its website says this will be available after the first over-the-air update, and that these include customized workouts created by you, the user. Basically, the watch is fine as a fitness tracker, but it is a victim of rough execution. The same goes for its sleep tracking. I wore this hulk of a watch to bed, and I was horrified when I opened the health app next morning to find no sleep logged whatsoever. It was only when I looked at the watch itself and saw it had recorded 6 hours and 21 minutes of sleep that I sighed in relief. It just didn't send that info to the app. That wasn't just a slow syncing issue either. Days later, that sleep data still hasn't shown up on my phone. The software here is very similar to Wear OS. You can swipe up from the home screen to see your notifications, pull down to find your quick settings shade, and swipe left to see widgets. Pressing the top side button brings up all your apps, while the other physical key here is programmable for your preferred shortcuts. Unlike Wear OS though, the page to the left of the home screen is non-existent, so it's basically wasted real estate. OnePlus does offer several features you'd expect from most modern smartwatches, like music playback, a weather app, breathing exercises, and a few third-party app support. It'll also let you control your OnePlus TV. But in some ways, the watch is incredibly backward. For example, when you get a message from supported apps like Telegram or WhatsApp, you can choose from one of 4 preset templates to reply. Just 4! Even Fitbits already give you more options than that robotic quartet, not to mention the ability to dictate or customize your own presets. OnePlus's single saving grace here is battery. After 4 days of pretty heavy use, including GPS and workout tracking, my OnePlus Watch still shows 23% of juice left, which is on par with some Fitbit and Garmin devices. It's respectable, but not surprising, given the lack of an always-on display, a short screen timeout limit, and the fact that the OnePlus Watch just doesn't do all that much. More impressive is the recharge time. Within 10 minutes of plugging the watch in, it got back up to about 43%. That's an impressive technological achievement, but it gets me to the question at the heart of this review. What's the point of super fast charging and long-lasting battery if the watch itself is completely underwhelming? For $159, the OnePlus Watch is certainly affordable for what it offers, but everything else about this smartwatch feels like it was either stuck in 2018 or simply half-baked. If you're after a cheap watch for your Android phone that can reliably track your fitness and last about a week, consider a lower cost Fitbit. Even one from last year would serve you well. Until OnePlus fixes its bugs and seriously improves its software, its debut smartwatch is merely decent and can't compare to what's out there. For more reviews of fitness trackers, smartwatches, and other wearables, as well as everything from the land of consumer technology, make sure you subscribe to Engadget. And as always, thank you for watching.